Well, he only has 2 more years, so how much longer can he have?
Well, they found them. The backup tapes that may contain ex-IRS official Lois Lerner's missing emails. They have been found. That's according to the head of the IRS. Remember, they were first said those tapes were recycled. What's up with the mixed messages coming from there? Also,
you're watching Outnumbered. Well, a potential break and some mixed messages in the hunt for those missing IRS emails. The head of the tax agency, John Koskinen, now saying investigators have found the backup tapes that may contain Lois Lerner's emails, and they're reviewing them. Now, you may remember the IRS originally claimed the backup tapes didn't exist anymore. Poof. Because they were recycled. Now, Lerner is the woman at the heart of the targeting scandal, which singled out conservative groups for extra IRS scrutiny. Those backup tapes are considered a last resort option for recovering her emails. Believe it or not,
Seriously?
Another episode of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Like, I can't believe this is really happening.
I know.
I lost the emails. Oops, I was sitting on them.
That's what happens, Harris. I mean, this is ridiculous to me. Let me tell you something. Way back in the day, I hired a firm, Deloitte & Touche, to recover some, deleted files and retrieve them.
How did it go?
Amazing. They're winners. My point is, somebody just hire someone to retrieve those deleted files.
This
I don't believe this is on here, though.
Digitally challenged. Look at the rollout of healthcare.gov. I mean, come on.
Kimberly's probably digitally challenged, but she called in outside help.
No, she's gifted.
And we now
don't
know,
make her cry.
because it's on the record, that the IRS, that professional IT experts within the IRS said, we need to call in outside help.
Correct.
The IRS ignored it.
Well, I wish that healthcare.gov people had thrown up the flag. We need to call in.
Well, that's the thing.
help.
Hire an expert. I mean, give me a break. And this is the problem. Don't you think? I mean, come on, Kirsten. I find you to be a very reasonable person. Don't you think this seems very suspicious and untoward?
Yeah, just
we
a
have
little.
it. We don't.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
a little. Also, how do you scratch a hard drive?
I don't even know.
The inside
It's
of
like
the
a DJ,
computer?
Ryan.
Yeah.
You scratch it like this.
I've gotten a lot of
If
tweets
you
about
guys
that.
don't follow Katie Pavlich on Twitter, you need to go to her Twitter feed today, because there's some guys that are scratching a hard drive. It'll make you cry. You'll laugh so hard.
But the biggest disappointment is, for example, when you have Congressman Lynch, I believe, is on Ways and Means. He's a Democrat who asks like legitimate questions when he has questions. So far in oversight, I haven't seen any Democrat say this is bothering me.
Right.
Because the IRS is a nonpartisan group that is really hated just by their job description.
Yeah.
So why isn't someone saying, I got a real problem with the way you're acting, I have a real problem with the pompous, cocky way in which you're doing it? And John Cox is in. He's the guy. He's the guy who should be, hey, they just called me in to fix this thing. Yeah. It's a mess. He would have been the good guy in this. This guy could have been writing his ticket for the rest of his life. Right. But instead, he is more defensive than anybody else about this, yet he couldn't possibly be implicated because he's brand new.
I think Claire McCaskill did come out and criticize him for his arrogance. I think that was her.
On his tone.
Yeah, on his tone, yeah. So finally, because it is strange when you're even watching the hearings of thinking, why are the Democrats even seeming to defend the IRS? It doesn't make any sense.
Or just be silent.
There's no reason to defend this. There's no person that supports this kind of behavior.
Well, what about a special prosecutor? Republicans
run on
for a special prosecutor.
It up, the Democrats. Look at that. Flip the switch. You got midterms coming up. It's already July.
Can I say there's one thing they're really good at? They might be better than the mob at this, and it's loyalty. I mean, no matter how bad it destroys your reputation, your career, they're like, yep, they do the talking points, they obfuscate, whatever it takes to just, like, keep the party line.
That's what Democrats say about
they're like the
Republicans.
300 or something, like fierce Spartans. I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought yesterday, because I was lonely, I watched most of it. I thought yesterday was I'm very lonely.
And you only get 10 hours of TV?
When I'm watching a raw feed in my office, there's my things to do list is a little light. So Congressman, Jordan, he was just on the radio with me too. We don't even have proof that they are actually lost emails. I don't even.
We have proof that they're not lost emails.
Right.
We're trying to buy time.
We never have proof at all. So we're trying to get. If it wasn't for Judicial Watch, who just jammed the system and said,
but look at what we're talking about. We're talking about a bunch of emails instead of what really is at the heart of this, and that is that there were Americans, no matter what they believe in, they were targeted because of names in their group's title. Tea Party and some pro-Israel groups. That we need to be talking about that. We need to have an investigation into that. I know the emails are important, but let's not lose sight of really what the deal is.
You're right, because this is what we're talking about now, but what about the core issue?
Exactly.
Right? So it's always you end up talking about the cover-up, but what about the crime itself? All right, the White House still says it's the most transparent administration in history. But apparently they're the only ones who think that. What do you think? A new Fox News poll reveals something very different.